Good morning. I weigh about 160 pounds now, but I used to weigh 215 pounds. This took me a little under a year to be able to go from 215, where I was obese at almost 37% body fat, down to 155, where I could, happily run and do pull-ups and all sorts of things that I couldn't be able to do before without losing my breath. The thing is that I showed my dad how to do this too, and he's in his 70s, and he went from 280 pounds, 270, 280 pounds, down to about 185 pounds in a little less than a year, and he's kept that weight off for years. And people ask me how I did this all the time, and people ask him how he did this. And the answer isn't as simple as a diet or exercise that, everyone's used to doing. It's pretty different than that. So the way I did this is I actually have my background's in building software. So that's kind of how I think about processes. And the process that I go through to kind of stay healthy now, yes, it involves some diet and fitness, but it's very different than that. That's what I want to talk to you about today, is just kind of set you up for explaining this whole thing, because people ask and I try to explain it, and it's not as easy as just saying, oh, go eat these foods and do these types of exercises. I actually think that's why a lot of people fail to lose weight or to get healthy or to get fit and stay fit for a long time. It's because of this diet and exercise culture that we have. So my problem started right before COVID. I injured my shoulder pretty bad, to where I couldn't move or do anything really. It took me a year and a half to recover from this injury. And between that, not being able to move, and COVID hitting, I went from about, 170 pounds up to 215. And I stayed there for a while, and I hated it. It wasn't that big of a deal because it was during COVID and I wasn't exercising and I couldn't move. But after I started recovering, I was just miserable. So I stayed at a really high weight for quite a while until I got sick of that. And I said, oh my God, my pants don't fit anymore. I've had to buy new clothes. I can't move. I can't walk upstairs without getting winded. And people would kind of treat you differently. And that's something you don't realize until you gain a whole lot of weight really quickly. The whole thing was strange. So I started experimenting, and I had a lot of experience with diet and fitness and exercise. I was an athlete in the past, before college. And what happened is over the course of the next year or so, I got down to about 180 pounds. But I was into it at this point, and that wasn't good enough. So I kind of stepped things up a bit, and I got down to 155 pounds. And I was kind of skin and bones at that point in time. And I've actually been trying to put on weight lately, and I'm at about 162 pounds now. And I've been here for a while, but I'm about to start some new experiments. So my dad's story is a little different. He was overweight for a while, and he saw me go on this, journey. And what I was doing, I told him, you need to try this. He's been a low carb dieter for years, and he's gone between 200 and 270 pounds probably 10 times since I've known him. And the same thing always happens. He'll go on a diet, lose a ton of weight quickly. He will then fall off the wagon and gain pounds and end up being bigger than he was when he started the diet. So I showed him how to do all this, and he lost a ton of weight, like 100 pounds, going from about 180 to 185 in less than a year. And he's kept it off for, I think it's over a year, probably a year and a half or so now. And it's been very easy for him, and I think he enjoys it. So that's what I want to tell you about. This is not something that I can just explain in one video. I know a lot of people think that getting in shape is about diet and exercise or what supplements you take, and I completely disagree with that. This approach that I'm going to show you is very different. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend thinking of it in terms of diet, exercise, and supplements. Just erase that stuff from your mind. Instead, I'm going to kind of show you an approach where you treat your body the way I would treat building a piece of software. Okay, so we are going to dive in and understand this from the standpoint of structured experimentation, iterative body design. You don't know what you want until you start doing this. And then you can kind of go about designing your body as if it has features, just like a feature in an app. And then environmental design. When people ask what being fit is, they'll come up with all these definitions. And my point is, you're exactly as fit as you need to be for whatever environment you're in. So if you weigh 300 pounds and you get winded walking up a flight of stairs, well, that's because you're in the environment you interact with has constrained you to being 300 pounds and getting winded when you're walking upstairs. If you can change what you put in your body and how you move and what you have access to and where you go, what you do and what you think in your environment, then your body will be forced to change. So I kind of think of fitness backwards. You should think of your environment first and how you interact with it, and then fitness becomes a derivative of that. I know a lot of that might sound a little confusing right now, and that's okay. I'm going to break this down and explain it so everyone can understand it. And when they ask me how I did this or how my dad did this, I can now just point them to these videos and it'll explain everything. So if you go to philosophyforfitness.com, you'll be able to follow along with all this, and I'll have all the templates and downloads and exercises you need to do as you move through these different phases of fitness. I wish you the best of luck. I encourage you to stop thinking in terms of diet, exercise, and supplements, and